Hi, so this is a little different. Usually you don't get to see my lovely mug, but I am Sarah Norton and I am the wellness specialist here, and I'm really excited to welcome you all to this week's or this month's Thriving Thursday. We've got Marla Pelletier back again today, and I'm so excited. This is something that a lot of people have asked for, learning how to do some stretches and some movements while we're sitting at our desks. So that's why you get to see our beautiful faces today. Marla will pop over. You won't be stuck with me the whole time. That being said, Marla is going to walk us through the demonstrations. And then I also want everybody to be aware on your screen. It should be on your right-hand side of the screen. You should see a section that says handouts. Marla has put together all of the information that she's going to go over in a PowerPoint presentation that you can print down and reference and hopefully use. Before we do get started, I just want to make sure I have to go through all the, the legal stuff and just say, remember that the information that's being presented in this is for, advice, guidance. It's not meant to be any type of medical recommendations whatsoever. If for any reason you don't think that you can or should be doing any of these stretches, please don't. Check with your doctor ahead of time. And then the last piece of housekeeping I want to do before we get started is just remind everybody that next month, Pat Salzar from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield will be with us, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about kind of healthy eating on the run and healthy eating during the holidays. So look for more information on that and how to register. I'm really excited once again to welcome Marla, and I'm going to gracefully exit stage left or right. And then here we go. I'm going to move over.
And Sarah, you better do these exercises too today.
All right, as long as I don't have to be on camera.
So yeah, thanks for joining us today. I'm really grateful that you are spending a few minutes with us. Now I have this PowerPoint for you to use at your leisure. You don't have to look at it today, but we're going to demo all of the exercises in there. And the way it's designed, my printout is a little different, but the way it's designed with these different columns, you can cut them up and place them around your office or your house, or maybe throw one in your car, anywhere you might remember to do an exercise or two. And there's appropriate times to do each of them. So when we do this upper body area, if you're someone that's at a computer all the time, you would benefit a lot from doing the neck, the eye, the upper back exercises. And then of course, lower body exercises, sometimes they can be a little bit more exposing. Maybe you do those at home. So make a choice where you want to practice. I really highly recommend that you make that choice after our webinar today. So the big reason that we designed a course like this is because people don't have a lot of time to do exercises, maybe are not changing into workout clothes, going to the gym, but you're feeling like you're in pain, you're feeling like you have a loss of movement, and we really need diverse movement to keep our body healthy. And again, these don't take very long. Something to mention, all of these are built around keeping our posture upright and healthy, as well as we made the assumption that many of you are sitting at desks and being sedentary. Okay, the other thing is when you do these, you want to make sure there's no pinching, pain, discomfort. You want to be in a comfortable range of motion, especially when you start out. Only push yourself more when you get familiar with the movement. So of course the mind's going to be like, push it to the max, right? I got to feel something. But today I want you to just think about staying in a healthy range of movement that doesn't create any pain. Okay, and so we're going to get started right away. I won't check the questions, but at the end I will check it after our webinar, because I want to make sure to shoot through all of the poses. And then if there are questions, Sarah, can we respond to them?
Of course we can.
All right, so I'm going to start out close and then I'm going to zip back and we go a little bit to the lower body. So if you have glasses for this first one, we're going to remove them. Eye cupping is something I learned from my yoga teacher. I think that many of us experience tired eyes after using computers, after long drives. So very simply bring the hands together and begin to rub them. When you feel the heat between the hands, cup them over the eyes. Feel the heat move in to the eyes. Don't put any pressure on the eyeballs. And then swipe the hands out to the sides. Again, bring the palms together, rub the hands together. Generate heat between them. Cut them over the eyes, no pressure on the eyeballs. Sweep the hands out to the side, keep the eyes closed or open if you want to watch me. And then we're going to place the fingers here at the center of the eyebrows and press towards the outer edge of the eyebrows. So just trace the line of the eyebrows and then press the temples and then move towards the hairline. Again, eyebrow center, move out towards the temples and out towards the hairline. Go a little bit higher on the forehead. Press the fingertips into the forehead, sweep out to the temples, out to the hairline. And do it a couple more times, passing across the whole forehead. So for a lot of us, we hold the forehead tight, the eyebrows up, the scalp may be pulled back. We do this somewhat unconsciously, and sometimes we hold our eyes and our face tight all day without even knowing. Okay, and then one more sweep here. We're going to take the fingertips just under the eyebrows, press up, sweep out to the sides, just under the line of the eyebrows, out to the temples. Give the temples a little circular motion, and then out to the hairline. Okay, if you want to do this a little bit more later, maybe give yourself a little shampooing massage on the head. Okay, and then we're going to do the neck. So moving to the neck, we're going to move in all directions. So first here, just drop the chin to chest. Let the back of the neck elongate. Now it's important here to maintain upright posture. And then lift the chin up to the ceiling. So rather than thinking about dropping the head back, think about lifting the chin up. One more time, chin to chest. And then chin reaching all the way up to ceiling. Now, do a little bit of an underbite, pull the jaw up to the ceiling. Feel all the muscles in the front of the neck elongate. Head to center. Drop the right ear to right shoulder. Drop the left ear to left shoulder. Now when you drop right ear to right shoulder, take the hand over the head and gently draw the head a little further into the stretch. Don't tense the shoulder. And then left ear to left shoulder, pull the left hand onto the right ear, pulling down. Okay, and then drop the hands down. Turn the head to look over the right shoulder. Look over the left. Once again on each side. And notice anything creaking, cracking, moving inside of the body. All right, and then head to center. A lot of us, when we're sitting at our desk, just from our desk posture, we roll the shoulders in, we round the upper back, and we jet the chin out. And so to kind of counterpose that jutting out of the chin, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a chicken neck. So we're going to stick the chin out. Now we're going to pull back and give ourselves a double chin. Okay, the only time that someone's saying give yourself a double chin, push your neck out and back to double chin. One more time. And double chin. All right, and then we're going to drop the chin to chest one last time. We're going to take the hands behind the back of the head interlaced and just apply a slight amount of pressure to drop the head down. Okay, now lift the head up. We're going to do a little bit of a back bend. So lift the head up, let the elbows draw back, let the chest lift up and drop the head all the way back. Let the head rest in the hands. And then to center. Okay, drop the hands in the lap. Next, our shoulder roll. So we do this classic shoulder roll, right, where we make circles. But here we're going to do cactus arms. So our elbows are in line with our shoulders, our palms are open, and we're going to roll the shoulders up, back, down, squeeze between the shoulder blades. We're drawing the shoulder blades together, okay, and then relax. Up to ears, back, and down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Up to ears, back, down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Okay. Extend the arms. We're going to do a row. Thumbs are up, thumbs up. Bring the elbows back, so we're pulling the elbows in and we're squeezing between the shoulder blades. Okay, reach out, squeeze between the shoulder blades, deep breath. Reach out, squeeze between the shoulder blades, deep breath. One more. So the reason we're doing this one is because our rhomboids get weak and elongated. That's that muscle. All right, let's do one more for good measure. Bring all the way back, squeeze. All right, and then release. There's many ways to do that one. We can do a lateral rotation outside and squeeze. We can bring the elbows behind us. Let's see, bring the elbows behind us and squeeze. There's all kinds of ways to draw those muscles together. So whenever you're sitting, you're noticing yourself slouch, just lift, squeeze, strengthen those muscles, okay? Next one is eagle arms. So we're gonna bring the inner forearms together. Okay, really press here, all the way from the pinkies down to the elbows. It's like you're reading a newspaper. Right. And then relax, shake it out. And then we'll take the next step here, palms face each other, cross the right elbow on top of the left. Do not rotate the wrists, and cross the wrists, palms together. So this is called eagle arms in yoga. You might notice the upper back stretching. One more deep breath. And then release, and we'll do the other side. So before we do that, shake it out a little bit. All right, palms face one another. Cross left elbow inside of right. Cross the wrists, palms together. Breathe. And then release. Shake it out. Okay, one we're not going to really demo today, but is good for, again, overcoming that slouchy posture is stretching the pectoral muscles. So the next time you're passing through a doorway, I'm looking over here because there's a doorway, take the arm, bring the arm to the door jamb or to that kind of frame of the door, and just press the arm against the door and allow this muscle, the pec right here, to stretch. Okay, you can do that with each arm. All right, there's other ways to do that, but really you're trying to open up this chest. You could do it laying down on the ground if you have something under your back, like a big pillow. All right, so that's eagle arms. So next is a little side bend. So our thoracic side bend. For this, you know, I got these big arms on my chair. I'm gonna scooch myself forward so that I can move more freely. The posture we wanna do as we get into these twists, and movement with the lower body is we want to really have shoulders over hips, hips in line with the knees, and knees over ankles. Okay, so we have two 90-degree bends there. So you may have to adjust your chair depending on where you're sitting. All right, in our thoracic side bend, we're gonna interlace the fingers behind the head. Okay, sit up straight, so notice the shoulders over the hips, feet flat on the floor. And then we're gonna drop right elbow down, okay? Now your sits bones are still maintaining contact with the chair. You might feel some muscles working. And then other side. One more time each side. I felt a couple adjustments. Maybe you did too. Now, if you're just beginning to get back into movement, moving in and out of the pose, holding it for less time might be what you need to do, okay? If you're wanting to really strengthen the muscles, doing it and holding it for for a longer amount of time is useful. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of a rib shifting, I should say. This isn't on your paper, but it's a really nice one to do. We're just going to shift the body so the hips are still stable. The ribs are shifting to the side, and then shift the other way. Shift side, shift side. We're just going to move in and out of this. Okay, and then come back to center. We're going to do a seated twist. I'm going to push my chair all the way back, so hopefully you can see me. We're still maintaining feet flat on the floor. We're going to twist towards our right side first. We're going to take the, right side first. We're going to take the left hand to the right knee, right hand back behind us. Lift the chest. We want to maintain still the crown of the head over the hips and turn to look over the right shoulder. Be aware that you're not pushing yourself into this pose. One more breath. And then back to center. All right, twisting to the left. Take the left hand behind you onto the seat, right hand onto the left knee. Lift the chest, exhale to twist. The key here is you do want to spend a couple of deep breaths. Many of us are used to doing this just to crack our backs. But you might notice with each breath, you might be able to shift a little bit more. You might be able to find more comfort in the pose. And then come out of the pose. All right, this next one is great for morning time, nighttime, anytime you have a stiff back. Yoga really centers around spinal health, okay? What I want you to do here is shift your hips all the way to the front of the chair, especially if you have these large arms on your comfy conference room table chair. Okay, so arms are in line, shoulders are in line with the hips again, and our arms are hanging down in line with the hips. Oh, I might have to shift away from the wall a little bit here, but you can imagine what I'm doing. We're going to turn the palms open to the front of the body. We're going to inhale the arms up overhead, interlace the fingers. This is cat-cow. Rotate the palms up to the ceiling. Exhale, round the back, tucking the chin, bringing the arms to parallel. Inhale up to straight. Exhale to release. Inhale, open the palms, reaching up. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms, exhale, round, tucking chin, pressing the hands forward. Pelvis rotates back. Inhale up. Exhale, drop the hands by the sides. We're going to do it a couple more times. Palms forward, inhale up. Interlace fingers, flip the palms, exhale, round the back. Inhale up. Reach through the palms, exhale down. This last one we'll do, we're going to integrate a back bend. So palms forward, inhale up, interlace fingers, round the back, tuck the chin, press the hands forward. Take a breath here. And then inhale up. This time when we inhale up, lift the hands up, keep breathing naturally, lift the chin, start to take the hands a little bit back behind you. Now don't lean back so much as you want to lift the chest up to the ceiling. And then exhale to release the hands down to the sides. All right, thanks for trying that one out, guys. All right, our next one is going to be reverse prayer. So reverse prayer, I'm going to demonstrate standing up here. Really good for our keyboarding hands. We're going to bring the hands back behind us, join the backs of the hands together. Okay, and then bring the fingertips together. This time the palms are facing down to the ground. Now that might be as far as you go today. It might just be palms down to the ground. If not, you can start to slide the hands up so that the palms are together at the back of the body. Okay, breathe here. Like I said, for many of us, we may just remain palms facing the ground, fingertips together, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe you find a stretch that way. and then gently release. All right, and then hands to the hips here. We're gonna separate the feet about hip distance or a little wider, put a bend in the knees, hip circles. Shift the hips to the right, forward, left, back. The hips are the center of the movement. Knees are bending, weight is shifting through the feet. And I know this can be exposing. I have been known to do this in the bathroom stall or brushing the teeth right before or after brushing teeth. And then the opposite direction. All right, and then coming up to standing, we're going to go back to the chair and do a really useful one for our weak and tight legs. So figure 4, which is called seated pigeon. Oh, that's going to be a little hard to see me. Let's see. We're going to take the right ankle, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Okay. And so at first, you may just notice that you want to stay here with the crossed. You know what, let me see if I can just lower this just a little. All right, here we go, guys. All right, crossing right ankle over the left thigh. And then if you want to stay here, that's perfectly fine. Ideally, you want the knee in line with the hip to be able to start folding forward. Now, if you do fold forward, you want to make sure your back remains straight when you fold. If, when you begin to fold, you just collapse the chest down, well, then you should just kind of sit up and enjoy the stretch that you're already feeling. Okay, so again, we want to isolate the movement in the hips. And then switch sides. One side might be very different. This side is pretty tight for me. Remember, it's ankle on the thigh. Sitting up straight and then folding. So yeah, for this one for me, I don't want to go very far because it is pretty tight and sensitive. And yes, I do work at a computer, just like many of you. All right, and then slowly sit all the way up. The next one you can do at your standing desk. You can do it when you're cooking. You can do it anytime you're standing, okay? And my head's gonna be cut off for this. So you can hold on, let's see, we'll do this. Hold on to the back of the chair or another table or the wall. We're gonna do a glute strengthener. Okay, so you're just gonna take the right foot back behind you, point the toes to the ground, and then lift. You can just hold it up and let it down. You can inhale the leg up, exhale it down. And it's about lifting and lengthening. And then the opposite side, reach the toes back, lengthen and lift. And my movement isn't very big. Okay, I've got some pretty tight hip flexors and quads as well. And that can limit the range of motion. Okay, another great one that's not listed on your exercises is simply bringing the leg out to the side and then crossing the leg in front of the body. Okay, so you could do that, inhale out, and then inhale across. All right. It's really good for stabilizing the pelvis. So when we're sitting here and our pelvis isn't stable, we might be really rounding our lower back, really folding forward. But to have a stable pelvis, we do need the strength in our leg muscles. The last one that's on your Deskersizes is a seated lunge. So for the seated lunge, again, I'm at the mercy of the chair. You can turn your body towards one side of the chair and then extend the leg that's forward. So for me, my right leg all the way back. Okay, you can hold on to the chair for support or even raise the arms if you want to get a little bit more yoga. This one feels great in the hip flexors. All right, and then bring both of the legs together and switch sides. Okay. Both the legs are together. Extend one leg back. Now, one thing you want to watch out for, you're probably doing this in shoes. But again, you're at the mercy of your shoes when you have those, but you do want the toes to the ground and you want the leg in a line. So hip, knee, ankle, foot in one line. And then bring the legs together, Come sitting forward, and our last exercise is a few deep breaths. So I'll be place your hands in your lap, close your eyes, and then take a moment to notice. Notice what's going on for you right now. Notice any sensations in the body. Notice the biggest sensation that's calling your attention. And become laser focused on that sensation. Move your attention to another sensation. Identify it with a word. Tingling, tight, warm, cool. And then let that sensation go. And bring the attention to the tip of the nose. And here at the tip of the nose, just watch the pace of the breath. Does the breath feel long or shallow? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel labored? And then let's really focus on lengthening the breath, starting with an inhalation together. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. And then get laser focused on the exhalation, pressing out the breath just a little bit longer. And let the breathing exercise go. Let your attention move out to sounds. Feel the feet on the ground. And then tuck the chin here. Blink the eyes open. Thank you all for practicing with me. And yeah, let me know if there's any questions or thoughts you have about what we went over. And you're very welcome to send questions to Sarah, and she can forward it on to me. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can make use of some of these exercises.
So that was great. So you see my hair here talking. So I'm trying to hide. No, come back. I don't want to be here by myself. So, especially with hair, because I was just doing the exercises too. One thing, so I don't see any questions at the moment, and we are going to get going. But real quick, I did want to ask you, I think a lot of times people can be intimidated by the concept of doing yoga because they're not bendy, right? Like sometimes when you see the people practicing yoga and they're on their heads and they're doing full wheel and they're doing all this stuff. And a lot of times I think people mistake the fact that they have to strive for perfection. And the stretching in yoga is not really about that, right? It's more about just trying to get your body to sort of, you know, actually, I'm not going to give the Sarah definition. I'm just going to, you know, that's the only thing I'd like to try to maybe leave people with is that to not be intimidated by the thought of doing yoga moves or that sort of thing, because there is no perfect pose. There's safe poses, right? You want to make sure you're not hurting yourself. But I didn't know if you could just quick.
Oh yeah, so everything we did today was yoga. Surprise, if you didn't know that. No, I was definitely giving this presentation once or this workshop once, and someone in the middle of it goes, wait, we're not doing yoga, are we? And I said, yeah, we are actually, because yeah, they are all based on yoga poses. They may not be the full one that we might do on the mat, but yoga is really about creating more openness, more spaciousness in your body, but it's meant to meet you where you're at. So what happens is if you go to group fitness class, if you go to a general class, they might take you through poses and into the ideal states or the ideal poses. But really, we're supposed to only go in our comfortable range of motion. And for many of us, again, when we're desk bound and we're sedentary, our comfortable range of motion is what we just did. And it's the total opposite of what is it? No pain, no gain.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is definitely like the
anti-yoga.
Yeah, it really is. It's the anti-yoga. So yoga's main point of yoga is to calm the turbulence within the mind. And doing body postures is a way to focus the attention. Okay, so that's why when you're doing a posture, you're not, stretching is different than yoga. Stretching, let your mind wander, do whatever. I mean, you do it before you work out, you do it before you play a sports game. But yoga is meant to focus the mind on what you're doing. So when you take these home or back to your office or what have you, when you are doing them on your own, focus on the sensation. Focus on the way the body feels before, during, after. That is yoga. So thanks, Sarah, for mentioning that, because it's definitely not exactly what we see in commercials, which is arm balances and, headstands and things like that. That's great.
Right.
There is a science to those postures. There's a reason that we line ourselves up that way, but there are many steps to get to those poses.
And
too.
I think too, it's important for people to know that sometimes you may not get to that pose. Like,
oh yeah,
I've been doing yoga for a couple of years, and it's not happening. Like, there are certain poses that just will not happen for me, but
there's our
just
bones.
to get to that point. Right.
Our bones play a big part in that. Like, I've never been able to get my heels down in downward dog, and I've done thousands of downward dogs. And for me, it might be the old injury of injuring my ankle years ago. It might be different kinds of things it might be my bones, like the way my ankle meets my foot, my leg bone meets my foot, and it's just the way our anatomy is. So
it's just the one thing we want everybody to take away is to be able to safely do some of these moves if you're comfortable doing them. Only do them to the point that your body says this is as far as you want to go. We don't advocate in any way, shape, or form the whole, like you said, no pain, no gain. That's like not cool. And just listen to your body and don't be afraid. Don't be like, I can never do this, because it's just trying to figure out how to get more movement in the day.
Yeah, it really is. It's just about finding something that's accessible to you to create more movement, because so much of our modern health issues are totally in our control.
Right.
Well, I won't mention them because I'm not a doctor, but a lot of them, if you start to read into them, if you move your body more, you'll solve your problems.
That's right.
So,
woohoo! Yeah. All right, everybody, have a happy, healthy, safe Thanksgiving with friends, family. Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and you will now no longer have this pleasure. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you all so much. Thanks. Take care.